Hi, my name is Allison Silva, and I'm a Writing Center tutor at San Jose State University. And today I'm going to be talking to you about how to do MLA formatting in Google Docs. Every different style of writing, whether it be MLA, APA, Chicago, etc., they each have their own special guidelines for writers to follow. You can see we have a paper here, and it looks really messy, but don't worry, we're going to go ahead and fix that right now. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is select all of your text, and then we're going to go up to the font choices and text choices, and we're going to click on Times New Roman. Then we're going to move over here to the font size and change it to 12. Then we're going to scroll over more to the right and click on line spacing. And we're going to scroll down to double spaced. So now, as you can see, our type is a lot more clear. It's a lot more spaced out, which makes it a whole lot easier to read. Before it was really condensed, really difficult to read. Now we have some breathing room in between our text. Next, we're going to insert a header at the top of our page, and we're going to scroll up to Insert, go down to Headers and Footers, Insert Header, and then we're going to go to our line alignment and click on Right Align. And you want to insert your last name. So in this case, the paper is written by Jane Doe, so the last name would be Doe. And then we're also going to insert a page number. But as you can see, when we type it out, Google changes it back to the Arial 11-point font. So just go ahead and change that to Times New Roman and 12-point, just to make sure that you're consistent throughout your entire paper. After you've typed your name, space, scroll down to Options. Oops, the second one is Page Numbers. Go ahead and click that. Then you can see we have a few different options where we want the position to be. We're going to remain it on the header, show on first page, yes, and then start at 1. And you'll just click Apply, and there we go. So this will be maintained throughout the rest of your paper. So as you can see, we have all of this information here. So you want to make sure that you have your name, the professor's name, what class, and the due date of the assignment. This all needs to be left aligned. You also want to make sure that your paper is properly aligned with 1-inch margins around the entire paper. Now we move over to the title. So this is our title here, How to Be a Good Writer. We want to move it to the center. So we'll go back up to alignment, center align it. That way it stands out from the rest of our paper. You want to make sure that your text is properly indented at the beginning of each paragraph. So if you just hit Tab on your keyboard once, you'll see that it automatically indents it 1/2 inch. And it's just going to be that first line. The other lines can stay flush to the end of the page. And I can go ahead and do that with each paragraph. So if I hit Tab on this one, automatically does it. Moving on to citations, this is the format that you want to use if you're citing a quote or if you're paraphrasing a piece of writing. You want to make sure that you have the information, and then at the very end, you can include it in parentheses. What do you include in parentheses? Well, you put the author's last name, then if it's a book or if it includes a page number, the page number following. If you have a source that maybe doesn't have a page number, then you don't need to include it. You would just have the author's last name. And notice that we don't have a comma in between the author's last name and the page number. It would just be like here, King, 341, or even down here, you know, we have Smith, 29. And you can also introduce the author first, then have the quotation, and then you would just have the page number underneath. So moving on to a different type of quotation, we have block quotes, which are any line of text that is 4 lines or longer. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of text. And what we do when we have these is we need to make sure that this is separated from the rest of the information in our paper. You don't want to have just one big long quote right in the middle of your writing. So, as you can see, we have a sentence here that prefaces the quote, colon, then we have the quote. So with block quotes, we want to make sure that the entire quote is indented 1 inch or 2 tabs. So you can select the text, then go up to the ruler and just move it over to 1 inch. And there we go. We can also remove these quotation marks. And one thing to also note is we have the citation here at the end, but we want to make sure that this is still included in parentheses. And another thing, notice how I have the period, that's the end of the quote, and then I have the citation. So that's the format that you want to use just specifically with block quotes. Lastly, we have the Works Cited page, which includes all of your references from all of the sources that you use throughout your paper. You want to make sure that this is on its own page as well, but as you can see right now, it's on the same page as the rest of our paper. You can either select the text and you can go up to Insert, scroll down to Break, and then select Page Break. Now, as you can see, it's on its own page. And if we take a look over here on the header, we can see that this is now on page 2. So it maintains the last name while including the second page number. Similarly, with the title of our paper, you want to make sure that the Works Cited title is also center aligned. Moving on to the last bit of text that we have here. So this would be your reference, and this also needs to be specially formatted. If you go ahead and select the text, scroll up to Format, go down to Align and Indent, then all the way down to Indentation Options, you'll have a pop-up and it'll say indentation, right, left, but we're focusing on special indent. You'll go ahead and click None, then do hanging and 1/2 inch, and then apply. And as you can see, just like when we hit Tab to indent our paragraphs, the ruler up here also changes. So you can do this manually, or you can do it just as I showed you. It's really up to you. So now that we have the hanging indent implemented, whenever you type more text or insert more references, it'll be following the same format. So you won't have to individually format every single citation, which is really helpful. That'll be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed learning about MLA formatting, and I hope that this is really helpful. If you need any further help, we also have handouts on MLA formatting at the Writing Center's website, sjsu.edu/writing center/handouts. Thank you so much and have a great day.